It's great to be here and to see this room full. It's been a while, and great to see Jack back in our corner back there, and all of you. And so when I became the dean of the Crowell School of Business 7 years ago, I was entering from 4 research universities, top universities, and coming back to Biola actually after 30 years, because I was a graduate student there at Talbot School of Theology from 1980 to 83. And my wife and I came down from Santa Cruz, California, where I was raised. And so I was coming back, and so after 2 years of being the dean at Biola in a Christ-centered university, where we have a vision of being a leading Christ-centered business school, after a while I was starting to ask, does God really have anything specific to say about our businesses? About the businesses here in Alvarado, regionally and locally? Does he have any, in Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. And I was asking the question, Lord, could you be a little more specific? I mean, that's general. It's a great catch-all. Okay, whatever we do, whether we sing or whether we serve coffee or whether we're in construction or whether we're in real estate or whatever business we're in, we should do it as unto our Creator. But could we be a little more specific about any particular business practices and that? And so I spent the summer of July 2016, summer, just kind of rereading some passages that I thought, I think there's going to be some kind of wisdom there along the way. And so where did I start? And I'm not going to take you from Genesis to Revelation, but I did start in Genesis. And I learned that God is a creator, and He works. For 6 days He rested on the 7th. He's creative. He works. He's a working God. He's a resting God. We need our rest. We work hard, and we need that Sabbath rest. I learned that we're created in His image. So, we're workers. We like to work. We need our work. And in fact, over the last 18 months, we could kind of say, yeah, it's not great to be out of work. We need that, whether it's in our home, in our business, in the schools that our kids go to. That work is important. I learned that we're created in His image, the image of God, Imago Dei. Right? And we're not going to start speaking in Latin, although you know a song in Latin, I heard. Okay, but that we're created in His image, so we must be workers, so we know that that's true. But could you say something more specific about business? Right? So, kind of reading through, then I get to Proverbs. Okay? We learn that the fear of the Lord, the honoring of the Lord, is the beginning of all knowledge. Okay, a business school, we're like into research, business research. We like research. And you like business research because you want to make your businesses even better. And so, I'm reading through Proverbs. And I get to Proverbs 31. And somehow, I'm reading it kind of with new eyes as a business school dean who for 30 years have been talking with students, MBA students, undergraduate students, here in the U.S. and in Canada. My mother's Canadian, my father's American. They met in Santa Cruz, California at church, and we were raised there. I've lived in Santa Cruz, California, back in Jamestown, New York, where my father was raised, on Chautauqua Lake. We built a house there. Why? Because my dad had a business, Lindblad Construction, a little teeny business. But I learned to build houses from him with my father's hands. When I look down at these hands, I see my dad. I learned screwdrivers and hammers and eventually nail guns. Thank the Lord for nail guns. And then we lived in Toronto, University of Toronto, went there for 3 years and as assistant dean. And then after 7 winters, I was ready to come back to California, good old La Mirada. But we went to Irvine instead. Great place, UC Irvine. 9 years there. And then Larry Strand finally retired. Some of you know that Larry spent almost every morning of the week right here at Collins Park. Right? I mean, I think it was that booth over there and that hand, because he lived down there, I lived down there, and on the way he walked past this place. And so when he retired, I saw that, maybe I'd be able to come back to Biola. So I get to Proverbs 31. And I'm thinking, that's not my phone. That's what I'm thinking. That's my phone. And I'm thinking, okay, Lord, you say something specific about business, and I get to the wife of noble character. I thought, wow, you say something specific, and you're going to talk about a female-owned business? How could it get any better? The wife of noble character. Who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. I think of Cynthia, my wife. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. Wool and flax. Wool is a material. Flax is a material. She works with textiles. That's starting to get interesting. So she selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She's like the merchant ships bringing food from afar. Sounds like she imports food from afar. Okay, it's a metaphor. It's a poem, but I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to think, it sounds more like a businesswoman. It's amazing. She gets up while it's still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She provides for her employees, for kids, and her employees. She considers a field and she buys it. Cool. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Business development. She's diversifying her business. She starts with a textile business, and now she takes those profits and she buys a field. When she sees a field, she says, I think that could be a good vineyard. So she's going into expanding her business from textiles to a vineyard selling grapes and wine. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable. Thank goodness. All right, it's profitable. You want that restaurant to move from in the red to in the black, right? You want customers to come in and you want the expenses to be lower than the income. You want it to be profitable. You're expanding your business. Coming to La Mirada. All right. So it's profitable. Trading is profitable. And her lamp does not go out at night. 3,000 years ago, oil. Keeping that lamp going all night was expensive. Keeping our air conditioners and our lights on all night, it's expensive. Okay? So her business is so profitable that she can keep the oil burning all night. In her hands, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with the fingers. Those are the tools of weaving fabric, right? And she's not only a businesswoman, but she's also a craftsman. Like my dad, both a craftsman, working with the tools. But when it was good, he had crews going, right? And when it wasn't so good, he was back to the tools. Okay? She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. She's generous. Corporate social responsibility. When it snows, she has no fear of her household, for all of them are clothed with scarlet. Scarlet, the color of royalty. So she has a quality orientation. She wants her business and her products and her services to be high quality. Great singing. Great singing, right? Okay, so high quality. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Again, noting royalty and high quality. Her husband is respected at the city gate where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. Don't we want businesses that really serve our community? So corporate social responsibility and respected as a provider, as a provider flourishing in our community. She makes linen garments and sells them, and she supplies merchants with such B2B and B2C. Right? She's B2B. She's business to business. She sells to merchants who sell that. But she's B2C also. Business to customer. So she's both. She's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She has a sustainable business. The profits are coming in, they're sustainable. And so she's not worried about the future. She's focused on the now and working toward the future. She speaks with wisdom and is faithful instruction on her tongue. She might even be the dean of a business school or something. I don't know. She's good at instructing. Okay. So she shares wisdom and she instructs. She doesn't keep all that business knowledge to herself. She's generous with her insights. She watches over affairs for her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her. Isn't that what we want? We want our kids to to understand us, to understand our work, to understand our beliefs, our commitments, our thoughts, and be able to share those with many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. All right, so I read that and it was like, well, I wrote down 21, there you go, principles, insights that I thought, man, this is really, I'm seeing this with different eyes. Right? So I was reading Proverbs 31, and by the way, I have brought some books for you. Leadership by the Good Book, Timeless Principles for Making an Eternal Impact by David Stewart. Okay? So, nice box of books there for you. But my friend Hannah Stoltz, she was really studying Proverbs 31. She was living it. She was experiencing it. She was in the Army. She jumped out of planes. She handled ordinances while at the same time of doing your MBA program. And she became an expert at operations, supply chain, and marketing. Finished her PhD at the University of Tennessee and started noticing that when she was in Bible studies and with her friends, that their sense of Proverbs 31 woman was different than her sense as a person who is in business and is out there working and can't cook a thing. And she thought, man, am I just like, I guess I'm not fitting the mold. And so when she moved to Wheaton College and to Lipscomb University, she studied the original languages. And so right after my summer, I met her in the fall. I was at a conference, and she talked about Proverbs 31 and business insights. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I've had her here to La Mirada. She's been at the Crowell School and presenting to our faculty and to people in the business community. And this year, her book finally came out. Wisdom-Based Business, Applying Biblical Principles and Evidence-Based Research for a Purposeful and Profitable Business by Anna Stokes. Want to know her principles? They're really good. Succinctly, her principles, and they look like this. Put it in a model chart. At the bottom, and it forms a hierarchy. The bottom of that hierarchy is servant leadership. When you walk into the Crowell School of Business, it says Crowell School of Business, business as ministry. Ministry, the word for ministry in the New Testament, diakonos or diakonia, just means servant. We serve. We serve. That's what our business is. So, servant leadership. Above that are 5 orientations. A long-term orientation. In fact, so long-term, it's not just quarter by quarter. It's not even yearly. It's eternal. But a long-term orientation. A stakeholder orientation. A sustainability orientation. A quality orientation. And a supply chain orientation. So those 5 ways of us doing business. On top of that, you ask the question, well, what's her competitive advantage? What's the competitive advantage here? Why should I go get your teriyaki instead of someone else's, right? And so what's competitive advantage? 1, she's profitable. We want a profitable business. That's a competitive advantage. If we are profitable and we have cash flow and profitability. Secondly, competitive advantage is reputation. Right? People come to Polly's Pies because when they get their meal, they go quiet and they start eating. You know, I got mine early, it's half done. I can't wait to get back, and I don't want to stop anyone from eating. All right. So the reputation, when you drive by, you see the Polly's Pies here. Your car automatically pulls in. Right? So competitive advantage, profitability, and reputation. And above that, impact. What's the impact that you want for your business? For the Masters of Harmony. Right? And for every business that's in here. Well, an impact now in the community. A long-term impact. But ultimately, our business impact can be eternal because we're changing lives through our business. We're improving lives through our business. And the things that we're doing are done in such a way that those impacts last not only a lifetime but into eternity. So, Hannah's book, a great read. You read about her jumping out of planes and all kinds of stuff. And while reading Proverbs 31, I don't think it's like simultaneously and that. But a great read. I highly recommend it. You know, you could ask, well, are there really good business books that have to do with my faith or any faith? Yeah, there are. I just brought a few here. A book by a friend, Henry Kasner, and Chip Ingram, Faith-Driven Entrepreneur. In fact, we're hosting a conference later this week, Wednesday and Thursday, tomorrow and Thursday. Faith-Driven Entrepreneur and Faith-Driven Investor. Got a watch party at our school. The books that I've got for you, Leadership by the Good Book. My faculty, Steve Rondo wrote book on first book on business as a mission. We have a business that is part of a mission. The latest book from our faculty, Megatrends, The Transformative Forces Reshaping the United States by Jay Douglas, is right here. And he's got another one coming out that he co-wrote with a student who just graduated from Crowell, and so they have a new book coming out. This is all, he's got books on Gen Zs and on generations. So, the question, does God really care about my business? He cares about me. He cares about my family. Does he care about the details? You know, we talked to our accounting students. You know, one accounting class and I was like out of it. I mean, I was not accounting. I was organizational behavior. I wanted to talk about people, not numbers. But our accounting students get it. They get it. He cares about accounting and numbers. And so, you want to know more about the Crowell School of Business, so I brought stuff too. And so, here's all about our programs, undergraduate programs, graduate programs, online programs, degree completion programs, Master of Arts in Leadership and Innovation, MBA, Master of Management in Nonprofit Organizations, online degree completion programs for those that haven't finished their degree. And we've got stuff on the blogs and that's totally free. And we've got Biola Learn, just like $20, you know, for online education. So thank you for being able to share a little bit this morning.